Right now, somewhere in the world, a deeply talented person is sitting silently, watching someone far less qualified take the job, the stage, the spotlight they deserved. And that person, it might be you. Here's a fact that will make you uncomfortable. Scientists at Cornell University discovered that the least competent people in any room consistently overestimate their own ability, while the most skilled people systematically underestimate theirs. This is called the Dunning-Kruger effect, and it means self-doubt is literally a sign of intelligence. You're not failing because you lack talent. You're failing to start because your brain has been wired, since childhood, to keep you small. By the end of this video, you are going to understand the exact psychological mechanism that kills your self-belief before you even try, and more importantly, why the people who seem confident are not special. They just learned something most people never get taught. Stay with me. This is going to change the way you see yourself. Imagine a child, maybe 7 years old. They raise their hand in class, excited to answer. They get it slightly wrong. The class laughs. The teacher moves on. In that single moment, the brain does something remarkable and terrifying. It files a memo. Trying equals humiliation. That memo doesn't disappear. It gets reinforced. Every rejection, every comparison, every "you're not good enough" moment, until by adulthood, your nervous system has been conditioned to treat self-belief as dangerous. This isn't weakness. This is neuroscience. And billions of people are living inside this invisible prison right now. Fact 1. Your brain cannot tell the difference between a real threat and an imagined one. When you think about applying for that job or starting that business, your amygdala fires the same alarm as if a lion is chasing you. Fear of failure equals biological survival response. But wait, it gets stranger. Fact 2. Psychologist Carol Dweck found that children praised for being smart gave up faster on hard tasks than children praised for effort. Why? Because identity-based praise teaches the brain, if I fail, I'm no longer smart. So the safest option? Never try. And this is where it gets really disturbing. Fact 3. A Harvard study found that self-doubt activates the same neural pathway as physical pain. When you say, I can't do this, your brain is not being modest. It is literally hurting. One more. And this one will shock you. Fact 4. Research from the University of Melbourne shows that people who experience imposter syndrome are more likely to succeed, because their doubt drives them to prepare more, work harder, and check their work obsessively. Your self-doubt might be your secret weapon. The psychology. So why does this happen? Why are so many brilliant people trapped in self-doubt? 3 psychological forces are working against you simultaneously. 1. Negativity bias. Your brain is 3x more sensitive to threats than rewards. Evolution built you to survive, not to thrive. Every criticism lands harder than 10 compliments. 2. Social comparison theory. Leon Festinger proved in 1954 that humans automatically measure their worth against others, and social media has turned this into a 24/7 highlight reel. You're comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's best moments. 3. The inner critic voice. Neuroscience calls it the default mode network, the part of your brain that activates when you're doing nothing. It replays your worst moments, whispers your deepest fears, and tells you that everyone else has it figured out. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Confidence is not a feeling you wait for. It is a skill you build one action at a time, even while the fear is still there. The global comparison. Now, here's what makes this even more fascinating. Self-doubt is not equally distributed around the world. In Japan, there is a concept called wabi-sabi, the acceptance of imperfection. Japanese culture teaches people to embrace incompleteness as beautiful. Studies show Japanese students are far more likely to persist through failure than American students. Not because they're tougher, but because failure is framed differently. In Scandinavia, the concept of janty law, don't think you're better than anyone else, creates collective humility. The result? Extremely high collaboration and psychological safety. People share ideas without fear of judgment. Meanwhile, in highly competitive Western cultures, the USA, UK, parts of South Asia, children are ranked, graded, and compared constantly. The result is a population with high ambition but deeply fragile self-belief. Same human brain, different cultural programming. Completely different inner worlds. Which means your self-doubt is not who you are. It is what you were taught. The cliffhanger CTA. So now you know the science. You know the psychology. You know the culture that built your inner critic. But here's the question nobody is asking. If self-doubt was installed, can it be uninstalled? There are 4 specific mental techniques, tested in clinical trials, that rewire self-belief at the neurological level. Not motivation, not affirmations, actual brain rewiring. And I'm covering all 4 in the next video. But before you go, tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you've been putting off because you didn't feel ready? If this video made you think differently, hit like. It takes 1 second and it tells the algorithm that this kind of real content matters. I'll see you in the next one. Don't wait to feel ready. Start. End of video stats. 85% of people globally doubt their own abilities. APA 2023. 70% of high achievers report imposter syndrome at least once. 1 in 3 people never attempt their biggest goals, not from lack of skill but conditioned self-doubt.